The birth of a nation. The American Revolution had ended, and the 13 colonies were no longer under British rule. The war for independence had been won, but the challenge of building a new nation had only just begun. Creating a country from scratch, uniting diverse states, and establishing a government that reflected the ideals of liberty and equality required vision, compromise, and determination. This was the birth of a nation, the United States of America. In the immediate aftermath of the Revolution, the United States was governed under the Articles of Confederation, a document adopted in 1781. While the Articles allowed the states to operate independently and loosely together, they proved inadequate for managing the new nation. The federal government had limited powers. It could not levy taxes, regulate trade, or enforce laws effectively. Economic difficulties, disputes among states, and the threat of foreign powers highlighted the need for a stronger, more centralized system. Recognizing these challenges, leaders called for a constitutional convention in 1787. Delegates from 12 states gathered in Philadelphia to craft a new plan of government. The discussions were intense, with debates over representation, power distribution, and the rights of citizens. Smaller states feared domination by larger ones, while larger states wanted influence proportional to their population. These differences led to the Great Compromise, which established a bicameral legislature, the House of Representatives based on population, and the Senate with equal representation for all states. The resulting United States Constitution, ratified in 1788, created a government with three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. This system of checks and balances was designed to prevent any one branch from becoming too powerful. It also reflected the revolutionary ideals of liberty, accountability, and representation, while providing a practical framework for governing a complex, growing nation. George Washington, celebrated as the hero of the Revolution, was unanimously elected as the first president of the United States in 1789. His leadership set important precedents for the new office. Washington emphasized national unity, a cautious approach to foreign alliances, and the importance of civic virtue. His farewell address later advised against political factions and permanent foreign entanglements, guidance that would echo throughout American history. The new government faced immediate challenges. The economy was fragile, with debt from the war and uneven currency systems. Farmers in western regions, burdened by taxes, staged the Whiskey Rebellion in 1794. Washington's decision to use federal troops to quell the uprising demonstrated that the government could enforce laws, but also highlighted the tension between federal authority and local autonomy. Expansion became another major focus of the young nation. The Northwest Ordinance of 1787 established a framework for settling and governing new territories. It encouraged migration, set rules for creating states, and prohibited slavery in the Northwest Territory. Westward expansion presented opportunities for growth but also conflicts with Native American tribes, who resisted the loss of their lands and resources. Treaties, negotiations, and unfortunately, often violence, marked the nation's early westward journey. During this period, political parties began to emerge. The Federalists, led by Alexander Hamilton, advocated for a strong central government, industrial development, and close ties with Britain. The Democratic Republicans, led by Thomas Jefferson and James Madison, favored states' rights, agrarianism, and closer relations with France. These early political divisions reflected differing visions for the country's future and shaped the democratic processes still present today. The early presidents faced the task of establishing the nation's identity and international presence. John Adams, the second president, dealt with tensions between the United States and France during the Quasi-War, an undeclared naval conflict. Thomas Jefferson, the third president, oversaw the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, which doubled the size of the country and opened vast lands for settlement and development. These decisions demonstrated both the possibilities and responsibilities of a growing nation. Society in the early United States was diverse and evolving. People lived in towns, rural areas, and frontier settlements. Education and literacy were increasingly valued, with schools and universities spreading ideas about science, philosophy, and civic responsibility. Religion played an important role, but the principle of religious freedom, guaranteed by the First Amendment, allowed individuals to practice or abstain as they chose. The nation also grappled with difficult contradictions. While the Revolution had been fought for liberty and equality, slavery remained entrenched, particularly in southern states. Enslaved Africans were denied freedom and subjected to harsh conditions, creating deep social and economic divisions that would later lead to conflict. Debates about slavery, representation, and civil rights were present from the very beginning, foreshadowing future struggles for justice. Culturally, the United States began to develop its own identity. Writers, artists, and thinkers explored themes of freedom, democracy, and the American experience. Newspapers, pamphlets, and books helped create a shared sense of community and national awareness. The blending of Native American, African, and European influences enriched American music, art, and traditions, even as conflicts over culture and land persisted. The early 19th century saw the United States expand geographically and economically. Roads, canals, and later railroads connected regions, facilitating trade and migration. Cities grew as commercial hubs while agriculture remained vital. Innovations in technology, communication, and transportation helped the nation progress and connected distant communities. Internationally, the young nation sought recognition and security. Treaties with Britain and Spain helped define borders, while conflicts like the War of 1812 tested America's military and political resolve. Though challenging, these experiences strengthened national identity and affirmed the country's place in the world. The birth of the nation was a time of remarkable achievement and persistent challenges. The United States emerged from the Revolution as an independent country, yet it faced the enormous task of building a government, defining its identity and balancing freedom with order. Leaders like Washington, Jefferson, and Adams guided the nation through uncharted waters, setting precedents and institutions that endure today. This era demonstrated that creating a nation is more than winning a war. It is about establishing laws, institutions, and a shared vision. It requires compromise, creativity, and commitment to ideals. The United States, born in this period, was a bold experiment in self-governance, democracy, and liberty, a story of hope, struggle, and the enduring pursuit of a better society. From the drafting of the Constitution to the westward expansion, from early political debates to the challenges of daily life, the birth of a nation was a period of transformation and foundation. It reminds us that the creation of a country is not a single event, but a complex process shaped by vision, courage, and perseverance, principles that continue to define the United States today.